Well, it's a long, crazy story, but Fani Willis and Jack Smith, they're in cahoots. They've been organizing together. Jim Jordan investigated, and Fani Willis pushed back saying, "How dare you?" But they revealed, I'm going to show you a video from back in August on, I think it was MSNBC, that shows that they were working together and everyone admitted it. And now everyone's pretending like it didn't happen. I'm Doug. This is Doug in Exile. Thank you guys for watching. And of course, thank you for your subscription. Do subscribe. Every time I do a video, we get hundreds of thousands of viewers, and not all of you are subscribing. So it really hurts my feelings and crushes my fragile self-image. Let's get to the news. Okay, first, here's Jim Jordan to investigate Jack Smith's office over alleged abuses. Jordan, a Trump ally, wrote Willis on August 24th asking for documentation of her investigation. Jordan also asked about communications with Justice Department Special Counsel Jack Smith, who is prosecuting Trump for election conspiracy charges. Jordan questioned whether Willis's motivation for the indictment was political or whether she was coordinating with Smith. I believe, of course, she was. And I'm going to give you some other people who are on the opposite side of Trump who have basically said the same thing. But Willis replied, Jordan had no business interfering in the case, either as a federal intrusion or legislative meddling in an executive prosecution. Willis said sharing non-public information about the case could hurt the integrity of proceedings, or it could prejudice the defendants, victims, or witnesses. Remember, we went over this yesterday, that's a garbage answer, that they're afraid of polluting the jury pool. It will never pollute the jury pool. They're just using that to help their cover up and to keep from presenting information. Here's an old video where a bunch of people who hate Trump are admitting that Jack Smith almost certainly had to coordinate with Fani Willis and that they're guilty. This is what Jim Jordan is asking about, just asking for their emails. But this proves they were in bed talking about this case, coordinating, federal and state working together.
How does anything that Jack Smith's worrying about right now and people he's getting to talk to him affect the Georgia case? Because there may be overlap.
They are looking at a lot of the same witnesses, and what prosecutor wants other teams of investigators and prosecutors questioning their witnesses without knowing what they're saying? They don't, right? So there has to be some coordination. If you bring in, for example, Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, you're going to want to know what he said to Fani Willis first before you, Jack Smith, put him into a grand jury.
That's MSNBC admitting guilt. That Jack Smith would almost certainly be consulting with Fani Willis to make sure that all of their witnesses are straight. And that is collusion between Jack Smith, the federal government, and Fani Willis, the state level.
It is a tough situation. It's a delicate situation, but I believe that they must be communicating. They must be sharing some information where they are looking at the same kinds of witnesses and documents.
Oh, there you go. The bad guys are admitting to it back then. They must be colluding. Pass this on to Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan, they admit it. They're all saying it. They must have been coordinating. They must have been colluding on this. And now Jim Jordan goes and does an investigation on Fani Willis. She goes, hey, how dare you, federal? Well, she didn't say, how dare you, federal, when Jack Smith reached out to her. And if you give Jack Smith access to you, you have to give Jim Jordan access to you, because all they're revealing further is this is just about politics. If you're a Democrat, Jack Smith, you get access to Fani Willis. If you're a Republican, Jim Jordan, you do not get equal access, because this is political. And we caught them. Thank you guys for subscribing. We were first to expose it all here on Doug in Exile. Like, subscribe, share.